Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
All right, well, happy Thursday, everybody. Another edition of Primetime local news. I'm Connor Chan filling in for Mikhail Henschel this evening. We got a great show lined up, including our question of the day being, do you roll up the rim with your hands or your teeth?
I normally, I think teeth for the most part. I don't know. I haven't mastered the trick of it with the hands, but I know you can buy an actual tool. Like, people get really into it and you can buy a tool to unroll it.
That's not really the same, unless you have stubby fingers like myself to try to do it up. But I mean, my bottom teeth can't suffice to that. But we'll have all that and more coming up later on the show tonight. But right now, let's send over to Brett Holden, who's down at the Canadian Brewhouse tonight.
I am here at the Canadian Brewhouse, where tonight there is a steak dinner for suicidal awareness put on. All the money from tonight will go to suicidal awareness. There is a silent auction that will be going on here as well that will close at 10:30. Tickets are $25. Come on down and support the suicidal awareness. They have things like different kind of medical kits and some other things as well. So come on down, come show your support. We'll have a little bit more coming up from here. Also talking to some of the organizers of the event. So we'll have a little bit more coming up from here at the Canadian Brewhouse. But first, let's head back into the studio where Elise has a look at your local news.
Great, thank you so much, Brett. Well, with the temperatures staying around the -30s in Lloydminster, the risk of frostbite has increased. Frostbite occurs when blood vessels in the extremities constrict, reducing blood flow and causing freezing. It doesn't take long for frostbite to happen in these temperatures.
Well, with temperatures like this, if there's no wind, it's 5, 10, 15 minutes. But if there's a wind chill, then it drastically cuts that a lot shorter.
Hands and feet are the most common places for frostbite, and if you do have it, warming the area slowly is the best way to treat it.
If it's actually frostbite, it's turned white and it's turning hard, warm it slowly, don't warm it quickly. Lukewarm water is probably the best. Not direct heat or hot water will cause more damage.
To avoid frostbite, stay inside as much as possible, and if you do need to venture outdoors, dress appropriately and in layers. And this Saturday, the annual Weddings on the Border event is taking place at the Lloyd X. The event is a chance for the business owners and entrepreneurs of Lloydminster and area to display what they have to offer while showing people that they can find what they need here in Lloyd.
Decorators, venues, cake decorators, there's DJs, bands, all of that are coming together to showcase our local talent that can be used with, of course, weddings, but graduations, reunions, all that kind of stuff, corporate events. And so we're just excited to be showcasing the local talent because we feel that it's really important to keep our money here in Lloydminster.
As the show wants to not only showcase weddings, graduation is also one of the displays featured at the event.
We've partnered this year with the Cinderella Project, so they in specific work with grads to make sure that you're pampered on your special day. So we've got people that way. We've got the Tiara Warehouse, who they specialize in jewelry and stuff for them. So there's really elements for any event are going to be found here all under one roof.
Tickets will be available at the door for $10 each. And there's lots going on here in the border city, and Heather Klages has the details in what's happening.
Coming up on Saturday night, you can support the Manitou Pioneer Museum by heading out for an evening with Ben Crane and Jessica Oracheski. These two are both incredibly talented musicians. They play guitar, they play fiddle, and it's a father-daughter duo, so the harmonies are going to be absolutely fantastic. If you want to get tickets for this really great night out, there's a couple of places you can stop by: Synergy Credit Union in Muhlberg and in Marsden. Valentine's Day is quickly approaching. It is a week away, and if you're looking for a really great night out, pick up tickets to head to the Vic Juba Community Theatre. The Irish Descendants are in town for Valentine's Day. A great opportunity to spend some time together and to check out some great live music. There's a couple ways to get your tickets. You can stop by the Vic Juba Community Theatre box office. You can also go online, vicjubatheatre.ca. This week, we've got some great music for you to win. It's a copy of Mark Knopfler's latest album, Down the Road Wherever. This is his 8th solo studio album, and it includes the hit Good on You, Son. If you want to win a copy, it's really easy. All you have to do is email your name and daytime phone number to tvcontests@newcap.ca. We want to say thanks to John at Universal Music Canada for setting us up with the music. And pick up your tickets now for the upcoming 16th annual Cutter Rally for Cancer. They've got an early bird draw coming up on February the 14th, so pick up those tickets by stopping by the Lloydminster Exhibition Association office. Well, whatever you choose to do this weekend, I hope you have a great one. I'm Heather Klegus, and that's what's happening.
And now we're going to go to Brett Holden, who is live at the Canadian Brewhouse tonight.
Shirley Madden joins us now here at the Canadian Brewhouse, and you're one of the organizers of the event tonight. So let's talk about how everything came together for you guys and just the importance for it tonight as well.
Well, it started about 2 years ago. We did our first event, and I got going with the Walking Through Grief Society because of the death of my daughter 15 years ago. And so we just started doing fundraisers to help raise awareness for suicide, and so I got involved, and it's a very important program for me to reach out and help other people that have lost someone to suicide.
Now let's talk about just when people come in, what the money is going to be going to tonight. With your guys' silent auction, we mentioned off the top 10:50 or 10:30 rather. The silent auction will be wrapping up here. So let's talk about some of the items and what the money will be going to tonight.
We got some great items from all the businesses in town. We got helmets, we got T-shirts, we got fishing rods, we got Edmonton Oiler tickets, we got tattoo items, we got, there's just a wide variety of some homemade items from some of the family members. So the support was really awesome from the businesses. So come on down and take a look at the items and bid on them. And like I say, the money goes towards mental health and suicide awareness. So.
Perfect. We'll have a little bit more coming up from here at the Canadian Brewhouse. But first, let's head back into the studio where Connor has a look at just how long this polar vortex will be sticking around with us.
Unfortunately, it's going to be a couple of days there, Brett, and everyone else watching. Of course, we're sitting at minus 28 degrees right now with that wind chill with close to 38 kilometers an hour. It will feel more like minus 38, not 38 kilometers an hour. That's my apologies. Take a look at some records for this time of year. 7 degrees back in 1996 and minus 43 just 2 years earlier. So we're kind of around that part there. As we kind of see on the satellite radar map, there is a lot of cloud coverage. As I shift over to the other side, it is coming across from we're in the Edmonton area, kind of nowhere near the Lloydminster area currently at the moment. As we take a look at, yeah, that's all blue. I don't need to explain that very much because that extreme cold warning is still here to stay, at least for the next couple of days. So remember, bundle up and make sure you plug your vehicles in as you are looking to head out and about. Take a look at some current temperatures. Minus 28 in Lloydminster, minus 26 in Cold Lake. A little warmer out now further out west, minus 19 in Edmonton, minus 20 Red Deer. Over in Saskatchewan, it's a little colder, minus 30 in Prince Albert, minus 29 in North Battleford, minus 31 in Saskatoon. As we take a look around the region, minus 36 overnight in North Battleford and minus 25 tomorrow throughout the daytime. Take a look at Cold Lake, minus 33 overnight with very cold temperatures, minus 23 tomorrow throughout the day, and it's just going to continue on. There's no real sugarcoating it there. It's still going to be really cold, and for us here in Lloydminster, minus 33 overnight with that wind. It's going to feel closer to minus 40, and then throughout the daytime tomorrow, minus 26. The winds will kind of die down a little bit. As we take a look at the next 3 days, it's just going to be cold. There's no snow, which is something positive about it, but that wind is going to make it way colder than it is. Overnights will still feel very, very cold with the wind chill, making it at closer to minus 40. We'll have more primetime local news coming up after the break.
Welcome back. Well, if it tastes good, why change it? In this week's Ag Report, Gerard Lampow enters the conversation about barley and beer.
It's all in the taste.
That's where brewers are very reluctant to try a new variety, and where that sort of conflicts with farmers is Currently, brewers tend to take a variety and they'll run with it for 20 years.
Cam Goff farms with his family near Hanley, Saskatchewan. He grows wheat, canola, flax, and of course barley, the main ingredient in beer. New varieties have come on in the industry, but brewers are reluctant to risk the taste of their product as they have a set recipe.
They have certain amounts of each type of barley. Sometimes it's a single barley, sometimes it's a mixture. It's also how is it malted can change, whether they put in other products as well.
The issue is taste and tradition, but ag producers are facing disease pressure and lower yields by using old varieties when they have options. Goff says brewers may run with a variety for 20 years, but they are slowly changing.
They are starting to listen. They realize that when they see the declining acres, they see the declining production in barley, the light has come on and they've thought, yeah, okay, well, we have to take farmers into the equation. We can't just do whatever we want to.
The price of barley is up, and that has implications on the feed side, as 65% of barley grown in Western Canada goes into feed.
Some of our customers really prefer animals that have been finished on barley because it has a much whiter fat to it, different color, and also a different flavor as well.
Just 20% of barley grown is selected for malt. To find the happy medium between feed and beer, Goff admits that malt barley is considered the poster boy, but with the new malt varieties, the yield is basically the same.
Previous to this, you'd actually, you maybe get 10, 15, 20% less barley from a malt variety as you do from a feed variety. But now, the very best malt varieties are getting very close to the same yield as a feed variety.
Gerard Lampow, Primetime Local News.
This Ag Report is brought to you by the Lloydminster Co-op Agro Center. Depend on them for product, tools, and expert advice. Shop at your local Lloyd Co-op Agro Center with branch locations in Lashburn and Neilburg.
That's your ag news. Sports is next, but first we'll take a look at your ag prices.
Every member of the City Centre Auto Body team has been through extensive training. We're constantly upgrading our team's education to reflect current collision repair technique.
To local sports now. A chippy and controversial affair on Sunday left the Bandit Energy Midget AAA Bobcats winless over the weekend and needing a huge effort in the next 2 weeks. The Cats lost to the Calgary Buffaloes 3-1 and Knights of Columbus Pats 4-3, extending their losing streak to 4 games. The Sunday tilt against the team where they are now tied with was contentious throughout, which included a bevy of penalties and bench injections.
A little bit undisciplined, including myself. So, for as big a game as it was, we needed a little bit more and just didn't get it.
Heading into the final 2 weeks, Holt says they need to provide better support for their goaltenders, particularly after allowing 59 shots.
We can't fault our goaltenders on any night. They've been there backstopping us all year long. We have to compete in our D zone and quit giving up odd man rushes. Way too many odd man rushes.
The Cats have 4 games remaining in their playoff push, starting with the Okotoks Oilers on Saturday. Lakeland College had a strong turnout for Make Some Noise for Mental Health Weekend, but on-the-court results weren't what they were hoping for. Losing 3 of the 4 matches to the Kings Eagles, they now have a bye weekend before a home and away split with the Nate Ooks. The women had their most impressive showing of the season in a 4-set home victory before dropping the next match in 5. This puts the Rustlers behind the Eagles' winning pace for the first in the division as the season finishes. However, they are starting to round into playoff form, evidenced by setter Ray Surgeons as a selection of the ACAC Female Athlete of the Week.
She's proving that she's the best player in our league. She's been working hard. She's in the gym, making sure that she's working out any kinks that she might have, and she demands to be the best.
By losing both matches, the men's team now has to wait and see how the Eagles fare this weekend against the Augustana Vikings. While the losses are disappointed, the adjustments are clear.
Characteristic on our side, we weren't really putting balls away like we can. Our defense was a little sloppy at the net.
And I think we played a little tense, not quite as free and flowing as we normally do. So the pressure wasn't on us, but I think the guys kind of put a little bit of pressure on themselves. Like, we win, we're in.
The Eagles' results will mean the Rustlers clinch the 4th seed and will require 1 or 2 wins against Nate. And now we're going to go to Brett Holden, who is live at the Canadian Brewhouse tonight.
Tyler joins me now, owner and general manager here at the Canadian Brewhouse. Now, we spoke with you before just about some of the events that you guys bring into the Brewhouse. Let's kind of talk about kind of the importance of bringing in things like tonight for suicide awareness and future events as well.
I mean, hosting an event like this, I mean, especially for suicide awareness, is huge, and helping out the community is really important to the brew house here in Lloyd, to my brother and I. So, you know, we host these fundraisers almost every Thursday each week, and you know, a lot of them are Cancer Society, you know, a lot of different organizations that come through, and we're just happy to be able to help those organizations and obviously help everyone in Lloydminster.
Now, let's talk about tonight. Let's talk about how everything came together on your guys' end, and especially for such, as you mentioned as well, such a special night.
You know, a lot of times, you know, it's been 7 years that we've been open, and a lot of times with these fundraisers, it's a lot of the organizers are just calling us for the 2nd or 3rd year in a row. So, you know, as far as Shirley was concerned, it was easy. You know, she let us know she wanted to do a fundraiser for February this year, and got a hold of me through email, and you know, we got the tickets going. It was pretty easy to get set up. So, I mean, anyone in Lloyd that wants to get a fundraiser going and helping you know, maybe somebody that's had a rough go, or a different organization that they want to support in town, or even if it's a Canadian foundation or whatever, no problem, get a hold of us and we can help out a lot with that. So.
Perfect. We'll have a little bit more coming up from here at the Canadian Brewhouse. Tonight is steak night for suicide awareness. Tickets are $25, so come on down and show some support. There is also some silent auction items up for auction as well. So we'll go to suicide awareness. Let's head back into the studio where Connor has a look at Sure Weather.
All right, thanks very much, Brett. Take a look at this very gorgeous photo sent in by one of our viewers of a nice, beautiful buffalo. So thank you for sending those in. If you want to showcase some photos to us, send them to tvnews@newcap.ca. Now getting back to some of the numbers that you don't want to see right now. Take a look at some current temperatures. -28 for us here in the border city, -27 in Vermilion, -23 in Wainwright, -23 in Vegreville, -19 in Edmonton. A little bit cold, little bit warmer, excuse me, out west, -26 in Bonnyville and Cold Lake as well. Take a look over in Saskatchewan. It is a little colder. Maidstone and North Battleford are sitting at -29. St. Walburg, -30. -29 also out in Meadow Lake, and -24 out in Isle La Crosse. We take a look at some further down. La Ronge at -29, Flin Flon -23, South End -29, and Wollaston Lake at -31. So they're in the higher 20s. And some of the other cities down here in the Alberta side, Fort McMurray -22, -21 out in Slave Lake, -17 down in Grand Prairie. We head down south now, -11 down in Banff, -15 in Calgary, -21 in Lethbridge, and -22 out in Medicine Hat. And down in the southern Saskatchewan, -31 in Swift Current, -32 out in Estevan, -32 in Regina, and -28 in Moose Jaw. So very cold indeed, as there are some parts that are still under the extreme cold warning. Take a look at for tomorrow, -26 in Lloydminster, -25 across the board in Wainwright and Vermilion, as well as in Marwayne. Bonnyville and Cold Lakes are sitting at -23 degrees. Out in Saskatchewan, -25 also in North Battleford and Maidstone, -23 in Meadow Lake and St. Walburg. And take a look at some of the snow accumulation that might come over the next 24 hours. It shouldn't be, mostly it's going to be coming on the weekends. You can kind of see we might get some flurries, but it's still just going to be mostly the very, very cold temperature. So we aren't really expected in anywhere, maybe less than 2 centimeters, or maybe just that little blowing wind, kind of blowing snow that we have seen last weekend. Take a look at the school day forecast. Going to be cold, so make sure you got your hat and your toques on, your mitts on as well for 8 a.m. at -31, -29 at recess, -27 at lunchtime, and still going to be really cold with mostly cloudy skies at -26 around the home times. Take a look at the next 7 days. Just cold all across the board. -26 going to be the average temperature there on the weekend there. -25 on Sunday, -24 Monday, -21 Tuesday, -19 on Wednesday, which gets a little warmer, and then -16 on Thursday. We'll have more primetime local news for you coming up after the break.
And now we're going to go to Brett Holden live at the Canadian Brewhouse tonight.
Shirley Madden joins us once again here at the Canadian Brew House. Shirley, you guys are having the steak night tonight, and you guys are with Walking Through Grief. Let's kind of talk about your organization and your side as well.
Well, we hold a walk every year as well as other functions out at Bud Miller Park in September. And our family has gone to the walk every year that they've had it. And it all started when I lost my daughter 15 years ago to suicide. And so it's been a very close organization for our family, and we would like to support it as much as we can because of that. And it's kind of, suicide is a thing that people don't like to talk about very much, but we help people that are suffering from the loss of a loved one, and especially to suicide, because it's something you just don't understand. And it's happening to children younger and younger every year. And it's just something that's so unexpected. And if you don't know the signs and stuff and don't know what to look for, it can be very devastating. And you just wonder if there was something you could do to have prevented the death. But so that's why I like to get involved and to reach out to people and just let them know that there is hope. And
we'll have a little bit more coming up from here at the Canadian Brew House. We do have a steak night here for suicide awareness. Come down, show your support. They do have a silent auction that will be going to suicide awareness. We'll come back in a little bit, but let's head into the studio where Connor and Elise are talking about your question of the day.
Well, it's back at Tim Hortons, and that is Roll Up the Rim, where every Canadian across the country is going to go nuts and try to win that car. I've never won one, but I kind of want to win one right now, especially with this weather. But my car's done well. So we asked you, how do you roll up the rim? Is it your hands or is it your teeth?
Yeah.
And it's pretty much 50-50 out of the close to 300 people that have voted.
300 people on the poll. Wow. People are
it's
very into their coffee.
Well, especially with Roll Up the Rim when you have a chance to win stuff. Yeah,
That's
but
true.
You were saying hands earlier.
Oh, well,
right?
I normally will just use teeth, but I've tried both. I don't know. It's just exciting to play along anyways. Like you said, I never win either. I think the biggest thing I've won was like a donut, and you're like, okay, that's
I'm waiting for that day that someone I know actually wins something like
big.
a car or some of the cash prizes.
Yeah.
I myself don't really drink a lot of coffee, but I will even go there. That's probably the only time I will ever go and drink Tim's coffee.
Yeah, that's probably true. I wonder how many people who don't normally drink Tim Hortons coffee who actually just now will play for the sake of playing. I don't know. What did they say the odds are? 1 in 6?
Yeah, it's something
Not
that
bad.
we're gonna have to buy a lot of coffee, basically. All right, well, it's that time of the show right now where we get to take a look at your pets with our pets of the day. As we take a look at some of the board. This is Cash.
Aww.
She's got the filter on,
Cash is
submitted
so
by
sweet.
Amber. Very cute there. Take a look at our next one. This is Einstein. Submitted by Dana in the hamper. Very, very cute indeed. Next up, we have Nell. Oh my, that is adorable.
So sweet.
Submitted
Look at her
there
little
by
paws.
Devin. Yeah, they're so cute. This is Ninja.
Ready to party,
Got the
maybe?
Peppa Pig party hat on, submitted by Ruth. Thank you for that. And last but not least, this is Lady, submitted by Shelly. She's out there in the cold.
Lady's like, I'm cold. Let's go inside.
That face says, get me inside,
Yeah.
because this is horrible. If your pet was shown on the show today, you are automatically entered to win a Pet Pad gift card, which we're going to be giving away tomorrow at the end of Primetime Local News.
We want to see your pets. Send photos of your pet and their name to our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram to have them featured on Pet of the Day. Your name will be entered into a weekly draw for a gift certificate from the Pet Pad.
We are here at the Canadian Brew House, where tonight steak night for suicide awareness is going on here. $25 for the ticket, and they do have a silent auction going on here, as you can see around me. All these items that can be bid on will be going back into the Walking Through Grief, and will be going through the Walk of Remembrance going on later on this month, or later on this year rather. That will be going on at Bud Miller Park. That'll do it for me here tonight. As I mentioned, if you have some time, come on down and show your support here. That'll do it for me here tonight. Tomorrow I will be trying my hand at calligraphy. I have bad handwriting anyway, so we'll see just how well that goes, and we'll see that tomorrow. Thank you for joining us here tonight. Let's head back into the studio where Connor and Elise will wrap up tonight's show.
All right, thanks very much, Brad. Taking a look at your 7-day forecast just for the last time here. Minus 26 on Friday and Saturday, minus 25 on Sunday, minus 24 Monday. It slowly starts to decrease or go down. Minus 21 on Tuesday, minus 19 on Wednesday, minus 16 on Thursday. We're at a point now where we say it's minus 10, we're all going to be really happy. Yeah. That's kind of the excitement that we have here in Canada. When it's minus 10 after a week of extreme cold, it's like, okay, minus 10, awesome.
Once the extreme cold gets lifted, that's when I'll feel better. And you don't have to plug in your car every night, so just hoping that it turns on.
Well, I figured out where my extension cord went.
Good.
Apparently someone took it from me, so
oh, well.
That's not a good thing. So now I gotta go and replace that.
Cords,
so no, we don't, but and also with all the roll up the rims, now is a good time to do it because it's super cold.
Yeah, exactly.
Get warm.
Go get your Tim Hortons, roll up the rim. What was the biggest thing that you won off of that?
Donut or coffee?
Yeah, yeah, that's it. And I don't know anyone who's actually really won big, and they say the odds are 1 in 6, so I don't know.
We'll have to see on that. But that's going to do it for us here this evening, folks. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great night.
Have a good night.